Hoax. Just deceiving people and believing something that actually isn't.
Climate change in today's world has become a grave issue that appears to have no clear solution. Politics is becoming a barrier to taking action while we watch from the sidelines. Why are people not contributing to making a difference for future generations? Have we just given up? Is there just one way towards combating climate change? We talked to Nora Lula, who is the program director for the Environment and Energy Program at Heinrich Böll Foundation, based in Washington, D.C. She moved to Washington, D.C. in 2016 from Germany to work for the foundation. So we asked Nora what needs to be done.
I still believe that to really combat the climate crisis, we need political action. Therefore, I would say that what you should do first and foremost as a person or as a young person is to call for political action. You can do that by demonstrating or by approaching politicians who are in charge, or go into politics yourself.
Nora is an expert on climate issues. But what are people's first thoughts on climate change on the streets of Washington, D.C.?
Power play by politicians to control people.
Delay.
I think the first thing that comes to mind is, I guess, thoughts of crisis maybe and the need to do something soon.
When you look at China, you look at India, there are some of the biggest polluters in the world.
We spoke with Ryan McGregor, a young conservative who discussed climate change within the political system.
Policies that are the overreach in general are masqueraded as, trying to stop climate change. So I think, if there's purely utilitarian purposes for it, then yes, I think the big thing is making sure that those policies don't get in the way of other things as well.
Not everyone recognizes the threat of climate change, but it is real. We need to understand how climate change is impacting our world so we can start the movement towards meaningful change. We asked Nora about the political inaction regarding environmental policy in the United States.
Unfortunately, the gap between the two parties and, above all, among the voters, has become even more entrenched and widened. In other words, where in the past a consensus was often reached on certain issues or on a point of view that was initially very contrary, compromises were more often found in the common interest of society, or the same positions were represented from different perspectives. Then, politics could be advanced via the two parties or together as both parties. That has really become more difficult in the recent years because there really is a very toxic contradiction. There is a real enmity between the two parties, and often the factual policy does not come first.
As a result of political gridlock, misinformation has led to some interesting views.
First of all, over 25 years ago, we had all our corporations changed so the emissions they're making was carbon dioxide, which the plants need. If you see smokestacks with white coming out, that's good.
I believe the planet is capable of repairing itself.
So are they scared of climate change?
Not really.
And are you scared that your children have to face the problems of climate change?
What problems?
Yeah, I think so. I think that the disruptions to people's lives. I don't have children, but I have nieces and nephews, and some of them are having children, and they will have a terrible time of it.
We all want to live in a world with a stable climate, whatever that looks like for each individual. But what does Nora imagine a climate-neutral world to look like?
I'm just realizing myself. I'm having a hard time imagining this new emission-free world, or honestly don't know exactly how it would feel. But theoretically, we do know what would have to happen to make it happen.